Hello friends, this video on P block elements part 5 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Now with this, let's start the group 15 element. That's the main thing in our chapter. Right? We'll talk about the group 15 elements now. So in the group 15 element is my nitrogen family. These includes elements like nitrogen. This is my phosphorus. This is my arsenic. This is my antimony. Sb is antimony. Bi is bismuth. Right? Let me write here. Nitrogen, phosphorus. This is my arsenic. This is my antimony. And this is my bismuth. Okay, these two are my non-metals. These are my metalloids, and this is a metal. This is a non-metal. These two are metalloid, and this is bismuth is a metal. Correct? This is my nitrogen family. If you talk about the occurrence of these group 15 elements, see, nitrogen is an atmosphere. In fact, 78% by volume is my nitrogen. So 78% by volume in atmosphere. We have this nitrogen, right? Atmosphere. If we talk about the crust, the earth crust, this earth crust, you see nitrogen will exist in sodium nitrate form. It will also exist in potassium nitrate form. It is also found in plants and animals as proteins. If you see these plants and animals, we have something called proteins. These proteins are my nitrogen. So nitrogen, three forms. One is in the atmosphere, the other in the crust, in the forms of NaNO3, KNO3, and also in a living organism in the form of protein. These are the three occurrences for nitrogen. Correct? If we talk about the phosphorus, it occurs in the phosphate rock. Phosphate rock. It also occurs in animals and plants in the bones. In animals, in the form of bones. Phosphorus is in the bone. That's why you say you have weak bones, take more phosphorus. If you talk about my arsenic and antimony, these occurs in sulfide minerals of copper, lead. So this sulfides. So in this sulfide minerals, these my arsenic and antimony exist. We talk about the bismuth, they also occur as sulfides. This is the occurrence of this nitrogen family, right? So protein in the living organism is nitrogen. My 78% by volume, my atmosphere, this atmosphere what we see has nitrogen. My earth crust also has nitrogen in the form of sodium nitrate and potassium nitrate. We talk about the phosphorus, my phosphate rock that you get from the earth crust has phosphorus. The bones in the animals has phosphorus. Correct? Let's see the nitrogen family trends now. We have seen the group P trend. Let's see the nitrogen family trends in detail now. So if you talk about the nitrogen family trend, we'll talk about the electronic configuration. We'll talk about the trends in the density of elements of the nitrogen family. We'll talk about the melting point and boiling point trends. We'll talk about the atomic and ionic radius trend. We'll talk about the ionization enthalpy trend. We'll talk about the electron negativity trend. We'll talk about the metallic character trend. We'll talk about the oxidizing and reducing agent trend. We'll talk about the oxidation state trend. We'll also talk about the nature of compounds trends and the chemical properties trend, how they behave. We'll talk about all these things in the chapter. Let's start with the electronic configuration trend. So if you see the electronic configuration for group, this group, that is my group 15, right? That is my nitrogen family. There is NS2NP3, right? 2 plus 3 is 5 here. That is my group 15. So for nitrogen, it is helium 2s2 2p3, right? Helium is what? 1s2. So that is my trend 2s2 2p3. For phosphorus, it is neon 3s2 3p3. For arsenic, it is my 4s 3d10 4s2 4p3. So this is what I'll look into it. For my antimony, it is 5s2 5p3. For bismuth, it is 6s2 6p3. You see, that is my general format. See, the electronic configuration is big one, but the last one is one which is of most important. So this is the format. The format is NS2 NP3. Okay. We talk about the density. Now, before we talk about density, let's discuss something more in this electronic configuration. So if you see here, the s orbital is filled and the p orbital is half filled. So I have filled s orbital and I have half filled p orbital. In all these cases, you see. And with this, you get extra stability. Correct? And please observe something. For example, nitrogen, there is no d orbital. There is no d orbital for nitrogen. Correct? There is no provision for d orbital. But for phosphorus, you see there is a d orbital, 3s2, 3p3 and 3d also. There is a d orbital and this is empty d orbital, right? For my arsenic, I have filled d orbital. In fact, for these guys, if you see, I have filled d orbital. Right? These guys also have filled d orbital. Because 3sp, 3p something and 3d would have filled here, right? Filled d orbital, filled d orbital, filled d orbital. So all these guys have filled d orbital. But if you see, this guy has empty f orbital. Empty f, filled d. And these I'm not sure. I think they would have filled f also. But if you see from here to here, will not bother much about the lower elements. But the good part of nitrogen is there is no d orbital. With phosphorus, there is an empty d orbital, and arsenic there is a filled d orbital, empty d orbital. So these three is, see, you see there is a variation, right? No d orbital, empty d orbital, filled d orbital, and with this there will be a difference in the properties. We'll talk about these. Just understand. Nitrogen, there is no d orbital, no d orbital. Phosphorus, there is an empty d orbital, and arsenic there is a filled d orbital. Just remember these three, right? There is no d orbital, there is a d orbital that is empty, and there is a filled d orbital, right? Three things. And why there is no d orbital? Because this is the 2 series, right? In 2 series, we don't have any d orbital. Let's talk about the trend in the density. So density increase as we go down the group. For example, this one has a density of, nitrogen has a density of 0.879 gram per centimeter cube at this temperature 298 Kelvin. If you go down the group, phosphorus, the density increase 1.8. Arsenic is all the more increased, 5.7 gram per centimeter cube. Antimony is all the more increased. So if you go down the group, the density increase. right? Density is mass by volume. So if we go down the group, the volume increase with mass increase all the more, right? More increase and volume is less increase. So end of the day, mass by volume, total value increase, and thus the density increase as we go down the group. Right? If you see here, 7, 15, 23, this is how the mass increase, 51, 83, and the size also increased, but the increase in size is little less. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online tests, get free study materials, find tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.